Mohammed Al-Kinani, a 6-1 amateur from Evolution Athletics, an NEF veteran, and a devastating finisher. 4 finishes under his belt already as an amateur. He's taking on the former Cage Titans champion, returning to his house, Chris the Bearded Dragon O'Brien.
This is one of those fights I've really been looking forward to. I spoke about it in the pre-fight show. I have no idea what to expect. I think this fight's going to be absolute dynamite.
This fight has so much hype behind it, and I think that much like the last one, it will exceed even that hype. Al-Kinani, again, is a finisher, brings a ton of experience with him in the cage, with 7 amateur fights to his name. That is definitely more amateur fights than most in not only Cage Titans, and most in New England will have behind them, but standing across from him with 5 fights, Chris O'Brien, former amateur 55-pound champion, cool as a cucumber under pressure, big power with the Cage Titans record for fastest knockout. Oh boy, this one is going to be, as Andy likes to say, a barn burner.
This fight has fight of the night potential as well. I can't wait to see how these 2 guys bring it.
Can we turn Dawn's mic up to 3rd microphone in the commentary booth? It's a little low in my ear. Just turn up the volume, please. Please. Mohammed Al-Kinani makes his inaugural walk to the Cage Titans cage, circling around, making himself comfortable. The long and lean, ferocious striker with devastating power punches and submission ability is ready to silence the hometown crowd as Metallica is queued up for the returning Bearded Dragon, Chris O'Brien, former amateur champion, holder of the 6-second knockout, exploding onto the scene just a few short years ago, and every time he makes this walk, this place goes electric. No different here, as the living legend himself gets himself amped at the prep point.
I love the intensity right now.
I've had the pleasure of calling his entire career. There's nothing like it. There's a magic he brings to the cage. He shows up on game day, brings an intensity that no other fighter has been able to do, especially at the amateur ranks. And he's got a formidable foe across from him in Mohammed Al-Kinani, that's all the fights that Chris O'Brien asked for. He doesn't want easy fights. He wants the toughest of the tough. He doesn't want to fight anybody ranked below him, and this is one of the men that is ranked above him, and it's going to be an absolute sensational contest.
That's something that they have in common. They both have a penchant for taking on tough fights. They both like to test themselves, and they both have lined up a great test, respectively, because neither man is here to lose, and neither man is a slouch. Both are coming in hot with a lot of hype behind them, and rightfully so.
Oh, the intensity in this arena right now is wild. The only thing that rivals this is my intensity when I fight.
That's what I was going to say. You haven't not been in this seat when you fight, Dawn. But Chris the Bearded Dragon O'Brien crawls his way into the cage, gives himself a bow, and this is the one we've all been waiting for. 2 super experienced amateurs putting it on the line tonight. Let's take it to the measurables and make this one official.
Tail of the tape, Mohammed Al-Kinani, 23 years old, Chris O'Brien, 29. 155 for Al-Kinani, 154 for O'Brien. 6'1", a bit of height advantage for Al-Kinani. Chris O'Brien stands at 5'10", 3-inch reach advantage for Al-Kinani. And we're going to give it over to Andy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves for the 12th bout of the evening. Our final amateur contest of the evening, an amateur mixed martial arts bout held at the lightweight division, scheduled for 3 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. Introducing to you first, standing in the red corner, with an amateur record of 6 victories and 1 defeat. This man stands at 6 feet 1 inch tall, and he weighed in at 155 pounds. He is representing Evolution Athletics. Let's hear it for Mohammed Al-Kinani! And now, introducing his opponent standing across from him in the blue corner, with an amateur record of 4 victories and 1 defeat. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and he weighed in at 154 pounds. He is representing South Shore Sport Fighting, and he is the former Cage Titans Amateur Lightweight Champion. I give you Chris the Bearded Dragon O'Brien! And our referee for this contest is Alexius Phoenix.
It is absolutely electric in here. The energy is wild.
Something that I really appreciate about O'Brien is, aside from being a great fighter, he has the showmanship. But once the show starts, all business.
Red trunks for Al-Kanani, red trunks for O'Brien. This, my blood's boiling right now. I've never seen a boring Chris O'Brien fight, and I've had the pleasure of seeing Muhammad Al-Kanani fight a couple of times as well up in NEF. A devastating striker in his own right. This one, don't blink.
Lots of feints early, which I like to see, and shows their experience.
Long and lanky Al-Kanani. Trying to find his range.
Both feeling each other out here.
O'Brien trying to find a home for that right hand. Nice lead uppercut from Al-Kanani. And a beautiful leg kick off the jab. Ooh, nice right hand. Finds a home down the pipe from Al-Kanani. A beautiful body kick.
Good body counter there, indeed. Money in the bank. Putting him in early, payoff later.
Big kick blocked by O'Brien there.
A lot of power on those kicks from Al-Kanani. Nice jab from O'Brien.
Again, showing their discipline and their experience. They're both throwing, but both really trying to set it up with feints and footwork.
Al-Kanani looking for the uppercuts. O'Brien cheers him on, saying, "This is my house." Nice right hand down the pipe from O'Brien, the former champ.
Talking to each other. Ooh.
Powerful leg kick from Al-Kanani.
Can't shake that one off.
You got to see some redness on that lead leg of Chris O'Brien.
O'Brien's looking a little overeager on that overhand. Nice straight by Al-Kanani.
Nice.
When that overhand lands, though, oh, good night, Irene.
Al-Kanani keeping O'Brien at the end of his range, at the end of his punches, and that leg is starting to turn colors.
Starting to blend in with his shorts. Kanani's looking very crisp, very long. Never count O'Brien out. He's changed the game in the blink of an eye. Come from behind against the fight of the year against Chris Schneiger. Oh! There we go.
He says, now I'm on the board.
They touch gloves.
That right hand was devastating. You heard that through this loud crowd. But Al-Kanani still just the more active fighter and the more accurate. Oh, spinning back fist just missed.
I love how they're talking smack in between each exchange. Every exchange, Chris O'Brien is pointing to the ground, and Al-Kanani keeps bringing it.
A lot of mutual respect between these two savages, and they're having fun in there. O'Brien can't stop pacing. Al-Kanani must be feeling confident as he's been able to keep the former champion at a distance, at the end of his range, at the end of his punches, at the end of his kicks. He should be feeling comfortable through one round, but you can never sleep on the heart and the tenacity of Chris O'Brien. He's come back from behind on several occasions, and he went 5 hard-fought rounds against Matt Bina.
Chris was one of those fighters you could never count out.
Never.
Even against Matt Bina when he was behind the whole time, I somehow thought he was still just going to knock him out of nowhere. He is not out for a second, and even though Al-Kanani definitely won that round, you can feel the anticipation building for that big Chris O'Brien knockout.
Every time O'Brien got touched, he just pointed to the ground. He said, "Let's go." I love the intensity right now. Al-Kanani, nice and smooth, nice relaxed pace, but Chris O'Brien is fired up. In this second round, I'm expecting something crazy.
Extremely technical in his striking is Al-Kanani. Great job mixing it up with kicks and throwing some front kicks upstairs. But Chris O'Brien, the former champ, has those intangibles of heart.
Beyond just heart, he has a way of, his presence precedes him. He has a way of sucking his opponents into his own game, into his own hype. Rather Conor McGregor-esque, minus the barroom brawls.
Another nice leg kick.
That leg kick had a big effect. I saw the way he walked after that one. He's got to start checking those.
Yeah, he started to walk a little gingerly on that leg, and he eats another one.
Yeah, switch his stance here. Switching his stance. Back to orthodox.
Whenever you switch, that's an admission of how much it hurts. So, I mean, Chris O'Brien, he's got a poker face that shows nothing, but that is an indication of his body language.
His left leg is almost like a size and a half bigger than his right leg right now. It's swollen up significantly. Al-Kanani with some good head movement. Now he's chopping up the inside of that leg.
What these leg kicks are going to end up doing is they're going to slow O'Brien down. And he's not going to be able to plant and move and change angles like he's going to want to.
Both of these guys just love to fight. Nice hands from Al-Kanani, backing O'Brien up.
Kanani's remaining very disciplined in that even if he lands something, he doesn't get overexcited. He does not fall into the counter, the trap of the counter that O'Brien's trying to set.
O'Brien's really just throwing one or two punch combinations and having a problem getting on the inside. I'd like to see him just throw a few more punches in before his big shots to create that opening, get in range, and then land his bombs. But Al-Kanani doing a phenomenal job of just keeping him on the end of that jab that's just continually pumping.
Throughout his career, O'Brien's generally been a counter striker where he lures his opponent into the brawl and then lands that big overhand right. I think that Kanani's discipline about, the traditional boxing acumen, in and out, not overcommitting, is what's giving O'Brien problems right now. Sends that right to the body, though.
When Muhammad starts talking back to O'Brien, he finds him with that leg kick to the lead leg again, and O'Brien spins out.
Going upstairs with that kick is Al-Kanani. Finds a home to the body. O'Brien trying to time an uppercut. Al-Kanani comes back with a three-piece of his own. Oh, beautiful chopping leg kick from Al-Kanani.
Those leg kicks have been adding up, and you can tell now. I wouldn't expect anything less except going to the head next. Oh, shot. Spalling crossface takes O'Brien down.
First attempt at a takedown. Al-Kanani able to crossface and score the takedown his own. Chris O'Brien definitely needs to make adjustments if he wants to come away with a win in his return. But Muhammad Al-Kanani looking smooth as the road warrior. Complete composure, a testament to his experience being a 7-fight veteran in his own right.
And you can see here that O'Brien's corner is icing that leg. You can tell that there's something going on with that over there. All those leg kicks have been adding up from Al-Kanani.
Yeah, Al-Kanani is definitely coming away ahead right now, but that's, again, the Chris O'Brien, that presence, the intangibles. He's still game. He still believes that he's going to walk away with that knockout, and it's hard not to, in some weird way, believe it too, despite everything being contrary to that so far. I mean, again, with Chris O'Brien, it's never over till it's over, and there's 3 more minutes of action right in front of us.
Chris O'Brien just yelled at his opponent to get off the stool. I love it. I love it.
This crowd is going nuts as they are all cheering for the former champion to make a huge comeback win in this 3rd round, and Muhammad Al-Kanani looking to put a stamp on the former champion and climb onto the Plymouth circuit in explosive fashion.
I'm sure his corner told him though that he's down. He's got to force the engagements now.
O'Brien definitely needs to finish in this 3rd round if he wants to win.
One thing I will say is I am so impressed by both these guys' heart right now. They're both
That leg is hurt.
That
leg is hurt. He can't even walk on it. It's trembling. Muhammad Al-Kanani lands 2 devastating leg kicks opening up, and Chris O'Brien's already switched his stance.
From my angle, I could keep telling that Al-Kanani is looking down at that leg, then throwing up top. He's doing a good job of using the eyes to misdirect where he's going to throw.
Definitely good observation there. I'm just looking at the welt, and it looks inflamed. His leg looks so swollen, O'Brien.
There's more colors on that leg than there are on a rainbow right now. Another one. Takes O'Brien off his feet for a second. He eats an uppercut, and that'll do it.
That is it.
Muhammad Al-Kanani with a 3rd round KO finish. Lands a devastating leg kick. Smells the blood as O'Brien is off his feet for a split second, and then a devastating uppercut punctuates the fight as he scores the 3rd round TKO finish against the former champion and Chris the Bearded Dragon O'Brien.
Well, one Al-Kanani that fight was chopping away at that leg so that O'Brien couldn't walk, and then he caught him with that uppercut while he was frozen off that leg kick. So I don't think O'Brien was out there, but he was not going to help himself, and he's far too tough to let the judges let that happen.
No, I do agree that that was a good call in terms of the referee. It seems that Al-Kanani, again, I can't emphasize enough, his discipline and not staying in O'Brien's range allowed him to chisel away at the leg, to land those punches, to score the points, and eventually that led to the destruction of that leg, which spelled the beginning of the end.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from the toughness of Chris O'Brien. That leg was compromised at the beginning of the 3rd round, and he still took a few leg kicks before he actually went down. And at that point, at the amateur ranks, they can't stand on one of your legs, you're eating shots. Very difficult for you to control how your defense is working when you're compromised out of one of your limbs. A great stoppage by the referee, and a congratulatory first victory of the Cage Titans cage for Muhammad Al-Kanani.
So much heart between the both of them. I am so impressed by the heart between these 2 guys. I could very well see both of these guys eventually making their professional debuts very soon.
Both incredible fighters. I definitely want to see more of both of them. I know that Chris O'Brien had retired, decided to make a comeback, and I hope that this doesn't spoil his return in at least in terms of his interest in continuing, because he has so
All
much
right,
knowledge.
ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for these 2 warriors. Referee Alexius Phoenix has called a stop to this contest at 59 seconds of round number 3, giving you your winner by TKO, Muhammad Al-Kanani!
All right, I'm here with now 7-1 as an amateur. Mohammed, man, you guys made a 3+ hour trip down here to Memorial Hall. First off, thank you for coming down and competing here for Cage Titans, but you have a ton of people that made that ride. How's it feel to have that support?
Feels amazing, man. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for having me over. Thanks to my opponent, Chris O'Brien. He's been a great opponent, great sportsmanship. I want to thank my coaches for putting all the effort and all the work with us. I want to thank my family and friends that came here to watch me. Sport feels amazing, man.
Well, I gotta say, you've pretty much done everything as an amateur. You came here, took out 4-1 fighter, you won titles, you jumped up weight classes. What's really next for you?
Man, it's all about the journey. Amateurs don't really matter to me. I try to pick the toughest fights I can have just to prepare me for the next chapter. It's gonna keep happening. I trust my coach, Nate Libby, and I trust his judgment. Whatever he thinks the next step is gonna be, we're gonna do that.
Well, I don't know about everybody else, but I look forward to seeing what's next for you. Make some noise for your winner, Muhammad Al-Kanani.
Muhammad Al-Kanani, the victor in round 3.